Now let's bring in Bret Baier, chief political anchor of Special Report. Bret, you know, every communications staffer can empathize with Andrew Bates giving 7 minutes to respond to a story or an inquiry from a reporter. But this is not a right-wing blogger. This is a well-sourced New York Times reporter, Katie Rogers. What do you make of it?
Well, I think it's a big deal if true. I do know what Jackie did, that person said he's still in the fight and trying to say that he needs a couple of good days of showing the American people. But it is, again, a break in the dam, and I do think that it's happening. We're starting to see more and more Democrats on the record saying this. I will also note that if it is true that the president is considering not going forward with the nomination, then there are real questions about how he's going forward as president of the United States in the toughest times if we're facing terrorist attacks and threats from enemies overseas. So there will be those calls, too. One other thing, as you see more and more articles saying that Vice President Harris is now the tip of the spear and she's always been good and she's fighting the fight, and the tone shifts on Vice President Harris possibly taking over here. Note that Vice President Harris usually has lunch with President Biden at least once a week and would be part of whatever this White House was in not making it known the president's declining abilities.
No doubt about it. And she is having lunch with President Biden today at this hour. In fact, Bret, there is going to be a show of strength at the White House at 6 p.m. this evening. Governors, some attending virtually this meeting with the president, some coming in person. CNN reporting that Newsom will be there in person, Pritzker, Bashir, Healy, Hochul. That's what CNN's reporting at the moment. So the White House will have this show of strength with other governors. Yes,
show of strength perhaps, Kaylee, but also the reason this was called is because governors were, in their words, freaking out. They had not been reached out to by President Biden since the debate, and there was a real concern, we're told, in Democratic governor circles that they were not getting any word from the White House. So they wanted to set up this meeting, as you heard Bashir say, to see the president in person. So, yes, it could be a show of strength, but it's also some skepticism there as we get to 6 p.m. tonight. I think the next 2 days and then this interview with George Stephanopoulos on Friday are, you know, basically the time that President Biden saves his candidacy or his presidency or does not. I think we're in that close a time right now.
You know, Bret, I do want to ask you, you've been in Washington a really long time. What do you make of the pace and the torrent of leaks that are coming out of the Biden White House from congressional Democrats? It seems like every 30 minutes there's some new person speaking anonymously to some reporter.
Because they're saving their hide. They realize, not only the journalists, but the people behind the scenes, that they may have been part of whatever this is. Everyone could see what was happening on their lens every time, and we would point it out, and then we were into the cheap fakes and everything else. The debate was a clarifying moment, and now you have people saying, I've got to turn and do the right thing, essentially, and report what I see and hear, and also tell what's happening behind the scenes. I expect more anonymous sourcing stories similar to this. Think about the New York Times story, 16 pages, 3,000 words. And then think about the Wall Street Journal story that was equally as long and got panned by the campaign and the White House.
Yeah, 74 tweets from the White House on that Wall Street Journal story. All right, well, thank you very much, Bret Baier.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.